Hey guys, Chris Rassam here at Halsted in Manhattan. I want to do a short video about one particular piece of paper that you will see if you decide to live here in New York. I'm not sure what the laws are outside of New York, but the state requires all buyers, sellers, renters, and landlords to be presented with this piece of paper right here. And the one that I have here, there's a separate one for renters and landlords, but the one I have here is the New York State Disclosure Form for buyers and sellers. And guys, if you fully understand what this document says, you should have no problem signing it. But it's also the responsibility of a good broker to explain to their client what this document actually says and what they are signing. Quick side note, there's no real requirement for you to sign this. There's no law that says you have to sign this. Just know that if you don't, we as brokers have to document the fact that we did provide it to you and you opted not to sign it. So side note over. Let's just jump right into this. All this paperwork is right here, guys, is something that tells you who the broker represents, what the agency relationship is, and who the broker has a fiduciary responsibility to. So it explains what the seller's agent's responsibility is, what a buyer's agent's responsibility is, if there's dual agency, which I will get into and explain in a little bit. But one of the most important things that I want to take my big red marker here and circle for you to better understand is that this is not a contract. This does not legally bind you to anything, right? So have solace in the fact that this isn't something that you should be freaking out about, so long as you understand it, right? So, like I mentioned, this is going to explain what a buyer's broker does, what a seller's broker does. If you're a renter, same thing. Landlord, same thing. But there's one little thing here at the bottom. I'm going to circle this one too. It's called dual agency. All right. Dual agency exists when the broker no longer has a fiduciary responsibility and undivided loyalty to their client, right? So that means basically that they rep both sides of the deal, okay? And it's completely legal here in New York, but I like to suggest that people go and get their own representation, right? I like to make an analogy of, if you're going to court and I'm the lawyer, okay? You're the defendant, I'm your attorney. What if I walked up to you as we were walking into court and going in front of the judge and I said, hey, I'm gonna go and also represent the plaintiff too, so sit tight. I'm just gonna try and get the both of you the best deal that it possibly can. Why would you ever agree to that, right? So if you were a buyer or seller and a broker, I mean, there are extenuating circumstances, but get your own representation. As a buyer, it doesn't cost you anything because the broker is getting compensated. Your broker is getting compensated from the sales side, right? The broker on this that's representing the seller is going to wind up compensating the broker on the buy side. So get your own representation and make sure that the broker has undivided loyalty to you as the client. Okay, so now that we have that straightened out, all this is, I'm going to reiterate, all this is a piece of paper that explains what the relationship is between client and broker. And guys, if you don't believe me and you still have questions when your broker presents this to you, this piece of paper literally takes 45 seconds to 1 minute to read. So just read it, understand it, sign it. Okay? Don't have any concerns about it. Now, obviously, there's a lot more paperwork that goes into a particular deal, right? It doesn't matter what the deal is on a rent side or buy-sell side. But this one is the one that is universal within New York. This is the one that New York State requires we give you. So, if you have any questions, if you're wondering what you signed, you're wondering where you are in your deal, you don't know what's going on, your broker said this versus what you said, Chris, let me know, right? I'm happy to answer any questions. Send me a DM. More importantly, smash a like button because apparently, Facebook and Instagram like that. So I hope this was helpful, guys. Any questions? Let me know. Take care.